You didn't hear it from me, but I'm your buddy, Big Johnny G. From Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Something very secret. I'm gonna tell you something very secret. And if the government finds out about it, I could be in big trouble. So give me a moment, and I'll set things up, and we'll get ready, and I'll tell you a secret that will blow your Alright, welcome back, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all. Alright, so I want to teach you guys how to play, how to play Secret Unknown Stuff Escape from Dulce. Now, I want to remind everyone that as the earlier videos on this game, this is still the same, that this is a prototype. Everything you see here is not the final product. This is just a, so to speak, a beta version sent out to reviewers. So this is a game, a three-dimensional game, as you see, a 3D board. Starts 2D right down here. And you're going to be going to level 5, and level 4, and level 3, and level 2, and level 1. How are you going to do that? Well, we're going to have to find out. So, Secret Unknown Stuff Escape from Dulce is the first of a trilogy of Secret Unknown Stuff games by Sentient Cow Games. All right, so now, since this is a prototype, as I said, I don't have miniatures for it, but these miniatures that they've worked on that will be in the final edition look off the hook. And what I'm showing you right now, these are all what the players are going to play. They're going to play this disgruntled guard, this hybrid lizard man, human, ancient samurai. You got a mechanic, a doctor. You have Amelia Earhart. Yes, Amelia Earhart's been found. She's been kidnapped by aliens this whole time. And a disgruntled alien. Oh, and of course, the Smith family. They become my favorite to play. Yeah, they are a mutated, an anatomically, genetically mutated family, which have become one composite being. And, oh yeah, how could I forget the company mascot, Snippy Von... I have it here somewhere. Snippy Von Bell. How could I forget that? In honor of Snippy the horse, which is considered one of the first case of alien animal mutilation cases. Oh, and this final mini here that they're showing off is the Man in Black. And the Man in Black is the ultimate enemy. So these are what the game are going to have. I'm going to be using, in lieu of that, I'm going to be using these standees. I got Snippy, and I have Amelia. And there's also a standee here. And here we're going to use that to track the alarm level, which I'll be talking about as we talk about the game. The game is going to come with a lot of dice. Different sided dice. There's standard 6-sided dice, and then 2 sets of 6-sided dice that aren't exactly 6-sided dice. They have 6 sides, but they're not numbered 1 to 6. And then a few 8-sided dice. Likewise, they're all numbered differently. The game has a great little cheat card. That's what I like to call these. The rule cards. They call them little cheat cards. Very cool, very cool. Anyway, we'll be going over everything. This board here, I'm just going to say right up front, this board here, I love this aspect of the game. This is the combat tracker. And I'm going to be showing that off in a few moments when I get to it. This is a great way to keep track of combat. Really, really enjoying that. Let me start off by going over a little bit on the characters first. That's where I would like to start. This does not belong there. Haha. Okay. So using using this example here of Amelia Earhart, I like the way the character cards are done. If you see, this is like an opened folder. You know? Nice. So yeah, you have the nice little write-up all about the character. You have your bio stuff. It's all very cool, very thematic. Helps you get your head into the game. Now, the sliders are cool. I like that. Not as much as I like the peg system like Battleship uses, or one of my all-time favorites, Dark Tower. Love that. But this works just as fine. So you can keep track, and you notice the dark green one right here. That's your starting health, and everyone has a different starting health. So you can put one tracker there. You can gain extra health during the game, and you can and you'll change that positioning. And you can use a red one separately to tick down and mark as you're losing damage. That's pretty cool. This tracker over here is for your armor when and if you get any. And trust me, you are going to need to find and equip armor in this game as soon as you can. The game breaks the characters down into four abilities: strength, mental, accuracy, and speed. The biggest thing about strength is, as it says there, how much you can carry. That's how many additional items you can carry in your backpack. Mental is good for attacking with mental powers. You're going to use that instead of accuracy when you try to attack someone. Accuracy, that's the number of dice you're going to be using when you're trying to, well, accurately hit somebody. As you see, speed gives you your number of turns. That's all it gives. It gives you a number of turns, not how you can move in the game. Because actually moving in the game is just a movement from segmented area to segmented area, from going to here, going into here, and then seeing that this area has a Roman numeral 1. So you go down to the Roman numeral 1 here for the encounter cards. So that's why speed really has nothing to do with movement in the game at all. It's really all for how many actions you get and to help you with initiative. Now, each of the cards also have down here in the bottom, I'm going to get to that middle part, hold on, down here in the bottom, to track your XP and your level. So every time you're in combat and you're successful, you'll be getting XP. You'll be getting XP based on a couple of things, not only on the enemies that you defeat in combat, but the encounter cards that you overcome will also be giving out experience. The encounter cards give out experience to the entire party, while defeating an enemy gives you experience of the player that defeated the enemy. And you see here it has level markers on it. Oh, and by the way, if you look closely, these stains, they're on all of the cards, exactly the same space. It's really cool. It really gives it that atmospheric, thematic kind of look and feel that somebody was going over these files and just spilt their coffee and put their mug down right there. Anyway, I was going to also mention about this. You see here where it says level. So when you get, in this example, when Amelia Earhart gets to 6 experience, that's going to mark her off on level 2. So over here, she's going to mark this up to level 2. And every level after 1 has a symbol or symbols on it. And when you get to each level, you're able to choose which one of those symbols that you wish to improve. And you match those symbols to the hearts, which is obviously your health, or it's going to be one of your attributes. It's going to be a dumbbell, it's going to be a light bulb, it's going to be a clock, it's going to be a target. And therefore, you'll be able to increase these. So if you increase your intelligence, you'll take a chip from the game and you'll put it down to remind yourself that your intelligence is now 3. If for any reason you lose, you could also mark that off to keep track and remember when you lose and lower your ability scores. And so offhand, the last thing I want to talk about is the equipment section of the character cards. I have it set up right now, but the way it looks blank is like this. And everyone is different. They all tell you specifically which type of weapons that this character is able to use, in this case, melee, pistol, and experimental weapons. Well, she's been a hostage of the aliens for so long, and she's seen so much. She has a knowledge or two about experimental scientific gadgetry and gizmos. For armor, Amelia would only be able to use the light or the medium. cards that grant you extra abilities can fall into different categories, such as weapon tech, psi, and athletic. And then finally, the backpack, as I mentioned earlier, under strength, you can only carry one equipment card for each strength point. So she has 2. So she'd be able to carry the small med kit and the giant wrench. Now, these are in her backpack, so she doesn't have immediate access to them, but they are with her. And since this is light armor, because you see the symbol matches, Amelia will be able to have that on. And she's able to use pistols. And as you see, this is a pistol. So you would just slot that in right there. So that is the basics on your character folio or folder. And there's a bunch of interesting characters that come with this game. I can show off a few here. Now, me and the 20-Sided Warriors figured Dr. Donna Haskin, Dr. Donna, is a tip of the hat to Doctor Who. Either you understand why we believe that, or you don't, or you're not a Whovian. Historical figure Hattori Hanzo, who's been a captive of the aliens for forever. And this guy here is a regular human. He was with the army. He's disgruntled. Nothing like a disgruntled military expert. Or a disgruntled gray alien who's been locked up and experimented on himself. You have the hybrid human lizard man that you can play. As I was saying earlier, the Smith family. And of the 20-Sided Warriors, this has become Ryan's favorite, Snippy Von Bell. So those are the characters, the base characters that come with the game. And, well, you know, as you saw here, they each have the different notes on them. So you remember. So, like, Snippy can only use specialized armor or alien armor, only psi abilities or athletic ability cards. So they all tell you, each of the cards there will tell you themselves what they're able to use and what they're able to do. All right, so I think what I want to do is just go over the rules on a turn-by-turn basis. There we go, better focus. And if anything specific comes up that I think needs to be pointed out or explained in depth, then that's the way I'm going to do it. All right, so at the beginning of the turn, the first thing that's going to be decided is the players are going to have to figure out which one of them is going to be the first one to enter a room, to enter the new area from where they are. So in this scenario, we're saying that Amelia Earhart has escaped the cryo cells along with Snippy Von Bell, and they're trying to escape. So Snippy would, let's say, go in first because of higher health. You're going to check out what the room number is, what the Roman numeral is. In this case, for level 6, that's a 1. So you'll come down here. Is this thing able to focus? There we go. Come down here and draw a level 1 encounter card and take a look and figure out what it is that you are going to have to overcome. The alarm level is going to rise by 1. If there is an objective token in the room, which in this case there is none, as you see, there's no objective token. These are the objective tokens with the question marks on them. But if there was, we would flip it over to see what that was. Since there is nothing there to find out, let's take a look at the encounter card. So in order to resolve this, this card is called a Bad Omen. The walls have primitive paintings of an eerie, smiling man dressed in black that cause a chill to run down your spine. The lizard men in the painting hold up a glowing skull that seems to protect them. So what you want to do, after you read the flavor text, is you want to figure out how many players there are in the game. In this case, there's 2. The alarm level is in green. So that would mean that there are 3 lizard men in this room. Upon discovering that there are 3 lizard men in this room, you're going to come over here to this board here, and you're going to go to the, better focus for everyone. You're going to come to the lizard man deck, and you're going to draw 3 cards, and you're going to put them out over here. First enemy, second enemy, and third enemy. And that is the order. Now you notice that they have numbers on them. Number 7, number 1, number 4. You also will notice if you look at their abilities, what they're going to do with each of their actions, you'll notice that they're different. That's what I thought was pretty cool about this game is when you're facing an enemy, it's just not the same enemy every time that's going to do the same thing. You'll be able to use one of the trackers you can put on each of the cards to keep track of the health as you're battling these lizard men who are dwelling in the lowest levels of the Dulce base. And then the next thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be rolling for initiative, and you're going to set up the combat trackers. So hold on a second. Let me show you how that's done. So remember, as I said, right now there are not miniatures for this version of the game. This is just a beta version, as I keep saying, sent out for review copy. It's not a final version of the game that has the full miniatures. So, but you would be setting the miniatures up in the room, and the miniatures are going to be set up in any way. It really doesn't matter. I just happen to have them set up closest to the cow in their initiative order. Their initiative order? How did I figure that out? When you look at the cards, you're going to notice that there is a number in the circle attached to the top right-hand corner of the picture. That is the initiative for that particular lizard man. Lizard man number 7 is going on 4. Lizard man number 1 is going on 5. Lizard man number 4 is going on 7. So over here in the combat tracker, you're going to take tokens representing each of them. As you notice, the tokens are numbered to match the cards as well. And you're going to place them in their appropriate spots. Now for Amelia, or for the cow, I mean, we're going to start with the cow, since the cow is inside the room. What you would do is you'd roll the 6-sided die. That's a 2, and you're going to add that. You can add that to Snippy's speed, which in this case is a 2. So Snippy, who will also have a token, will be going on 4. Amelia has a speed of 3. She's out in the other room. So you'd roll the die 2. So Amelia is going to be going on 5. And there we go. And that is how you set up for combat in the game. Very fast, very simple, easy. I really like the way the card system works out to keep track of everything. Now, if you remember, this is going to be the setup. So in your combat, Amelia is in another room, so she's not going to be able to make melee attacks unless you have some sort of reach on your melee attack, which I have not encountered in the card so far in my playthroughs of it. You have to be in the same area in order to do that. But she does have a pistol, so that's not going to be bad. So now we go directly into resolving combat. So coming over here, you see the first thing that's going to happen is Lizard Man number 4 is going to get an attack. He's first on initiative, so you look at his card. He has a speed of 2, which means he's going to have 2 actions, just like the players. Your speed will dictate your number of actions. So with the 2 actions, the first attack it says there, as you see, is always going to be a tail lash. Well, the second attack is going to be the spear strike. And it shows 1 white die for each of them, which means you're going to grab one of the white dice, and you would be making a roll. 1. All right, so the tail lash hits Snippy for 1 damage. And remember, you could always use that, so you don't have to actually move the green token for your max health, and you'll be moving that down Snippy's health scale. Now the second attack Whoa! Hold on. I don't even know if that attack hit. That is what the accuracy rating is for. I just jumped the gun and went straight to damage. That was pretty stupid. Excitement, excitement, excitement. All right. So they're going to have to roll to do a hit. And then we'll get right back into the combat. Sorry about that. Camera quake! I got to start editing those out. All right, so as I was saying, you see that the accuracy is a listing of 2, as I was saying on this. So you're going to roll a 6-sided die, and you're going to see if you can match your accuracy. 2, that's a match, so that is a hit. So as I jumped the gun earlier and made that damage roll a little bit too early, so yeah, Snippy would be taking 1 damage from that. But the Lizard Man has 2 actions because of the speed of 2, and the second attack is a spear swipe, which he would then try for. 1 made it. Now 1 is also a critical hit. When that happens, you're going to double your damage on the dice. So, instead of the 1 die, as you see that shows, it's going to be 2 white dice for a total of 3 on Snippy from the original 12. Snippy already took 1, so that's a total of 4 from this Lizard Man's combat. Ouch! Lucky Snippy went in first. And that's the way the first round of combat with the enemy works. The next one comes down to 5 and 4, has everyone else going. When things are tied, it goes to the players. So Amelia, coming over here, is going to look and see that she has an accuracy of 3, which is pretty good. And she's holding a pistol that does a green die of damage, which is potentially better than the white die. So she's going to need a 1, 2, or 3 on her roll. Whoa, there we go again. Another. So she's going to get 2 green dice in this case. Since it's a 1, it's a critical. She would be getting 2 green dice for damage. 4 damage. Her 1 shot, what the Lizard Man that attacked Snippy, down. That's pretty good. So you would take the marker, as I said, and you would mark that down to the 1 spot. I'm just doing it quick and fast. And then Snippy would be able to attack. Let's say Snippy does a charge into the room. Could potentially finish off the Lizard Man. Or Snippy could stay... Snippy could use Side Blast, which Snippy also has better dice to roll to damage on that. But anyway, so that's really how simple combat is. I really don't even have any idea of how to get into it any deeper. You're going to roll a 6-sided die versus your accuracy. If you hit, you're going to do the damage shown by the weapon or the ability that you're using. And then you're just going to roll the appropriate dice that it's going to call for. Those or those. And then you're going to mark the damage down. Now, this is going to continue back and forth. And the person that kills the opponent is going to get an experience for that. Now, when the entire encounter card is done, if we survive this attack with all 3 of the Lizard Men, then you're going to look down here. Since we are in the green, right? We're still in the green alert status. You would look down here and you see 3 in the green. So everyone in the party, in this case is just our two lonely heroes, but they would each get 3 experience. And then each one of them that killed one of the 3 Lizard Men would get 1 experience on top of that. And as I said earlier, talking about the character sheet, that's going to be tracked here. So potentially, if Amelia Earhart killed all 3 of the Lizard Men and they finished this, that would get her a total of 6. This one encounter could get her up to level 2. And a better focus. There we go. And then at level 2, she would have a choice of either gaining 1 extra point in intelligence. And if she did that, as I stated earlier, going over the characters that would be represented. Or she could raise her maximum health from 6 up 1 to 7. Then level 3, she'll have the choice. You always have the choice of health. That's always there. It's either health or your choice of health and something else. So, and that's the way that's going to go. Now, you can search rooms. After you dispatch of the dummies and you receive your XP, you're going to be able to roll on your mental ability score. You can roll on your mental ability score, and you can search a room twice. And if you make a successful hit, 1 on a 6-sided die, 1 to whatever your mental ability is. In Amelia's case, it would be 2. So on a roll of a 1 or a 2 for Amelia, her search could turn something up. And if it does, you're going to go over here to now you can search twice. You can take a card. If you want to, you can search a second time. And if you get a successful on that, you don't get to keep the 2 cards. You'll get to choose one of them. So if, let's say, Amelia had 2 successful searches, that means that she found a flintlock pistol and she found a security badge. And if this was my choice, I would probably go for the security badge. She already has a ranged weapon, which is better than that one, let's face it. And they might need the security badge to lower the alarm levels, so it's getting too hot. Because once things start getting into the yellow and the red, because every time you have an encounter, this is going to go up. Unless some card miraculously says otherwise, every time you have an encounter, which is pretty much every time you walk into a room, this is going to continue going up until it gets to the yellow, come down here, and then track till it gets to the red, and then the black. The black means the man in black shows up. But if you see, each one of them does have a meaning besides on the encounter cards. You know, remember the encounter cards? So whatever red, green, yellow, or red will really make it that much tougher because there's more enemies about. But also besides that, while you're in green, everything's kind of cool. You know, nothing's going to happen. If you're in yellow area, then you have to roll random encounters on rooms that you've already cleared. Because now they're on a little bit of an alert for you, so they're walking around looking. Before that, in green, nobody's looking for you. So if you clear a room, that's great. That's good. You can go back. The dead bodies are still there. You know, the lizard men or whatever it is that you end up drawing, they're still there rotting away. Nobody's found them yet. In the red, that's when reinforcements start showing up and make your life really hell. And black, as I said, that's when the man in black figure shows up. And wow, you don't want that happening. This guy cleans freaking house. Not good. So anyway, you're going to be doing that. And as you go into the different rooms, let's get back to this. So as you go into the different rooms, you're going to be seeing what's here. In this case, you'll be able to draw more loot. There's another loot one. Oh, this is important. Okay. So up here, you see the computer. You're going to need that in order to get access to open up the portal, which you're going to need to get up to the next level. That's a regen vat. Very cool. You can use that to heal, or you can use that in case you die. What? Yes, in case you die. You can die in this game. But death is not the end, my friends. Oh, no. There's a total of 4 clones. It doesn't matter if they're for you, if they're for your friends, if they're for a mix of you and your friends. It doesn't matter. There are 4 clones. And whenever you die, you will be able to get a clone, obviously without any of his equipment or gear. But you'll be able to get a clone to be able to continue on that level. And the clone will appear in either the room that you appeared on the level at, or more than likely, if you've encountered a cryogen, that's where you will appear first. If no cryogen, then the room that you ported into. And then every time you do, you're just going to keep track. You just keep track with the tracker. That 1 has been used, and then 2, and then 3. And when the 4th time one of you dies, my friends, that is final. That's what that's for. So that means this. Bing, bang, boom. Level 6. So this is the level 6 portal. So going around the game, encountering the cards in each room, you're eventually going to make your way here and you're going to find the portal. If you've also found the computer, then you can activate it And then from there, you will leave this level. And that, my friends, is when you start climbing the ladder of success, so to speak, to get the heck out of Dodge. And then from this level, level 5, you'll make it to 4. If you survive that, you'll make it to 3. Likewise, 2. And do you hazard a guess? Can you hazard a guess? That's right, level 1. And after finishing level 1 and defeating at least, if not more, at least a man in black, then you will have escaped Dulce, my friends. That is the core of playing the game. Oh, I love climbing these things. It really, really is that good. Now, there's something I didn't really mention, because you know what? To me, even games that don't have this ability, me and my buddies, we always just sort of, even when we don't know we're doing it, we always sort of house rule it in. There's another action you can do during the encounter scenes at the end of the encounter scene, and that's swap out equipment. So after you guys have found equipment, you can take a look at this, and anyone that's in the same area as you in that same room area, you can swap back and forth and give stuff to each other. What else is there to tell about the game? I mean, that is really pretty much everything that you're going to need to know to play the game. The game is really that simple. The game is going to come with a basic escape game, so to speak, escaping this place and defeating the encounters and escaping and working your way out. Plus, there's going to be missions in a campaign setting. And if you soar on our playthrough or any of the other, we also did an unboxing and we did a 20-sided shots first impression. But the boards, there we go. The boards are double-sided. Level B, regular level, which is A. And that's really cool because the boards not only are numbered differently, but they're designed differently. So that's one reason I didn't go through the setup of the game, because the setup is going to be kind of determined by what you're playing. Whether you're playing one of the campaigns, whether you're playing a basic mission, and just running around the game, seeing if you could just get through encounter level by encounter level and get out. The setup for these are really, really cool and very simple. There's very easy to follow instructions on how to slide and slot these things into each other. I had no problem doing it on my own. When we did the first playthrough that we ended up doing our first impressions video on, after that, Alex and Ryan put this thing together, and they put it together right away. Right out of the box. They'd never even seen this. I totally surprised them with this game. I knew this game was coming for review. They didn't know about it. They didn't know it was coming, and they didn't know about it in general. And they were able to put this together, bang, bang, boom, right away, right out of the box. So maybe I should have done a setup, but I think that might actually wait for the actual final product of the game. Oh, yeah, did I mention? I'm not sure if I did. I think I did, but just to make sure, on experience, did I mention I want to make sure that when you get up to a certain level, this marker is going to go all the way back down. Yeah, you don't level up this quickly, folks. Not sure if I pointed that thing out. So that's really about all that I can think of. That covers all the rules of the game. Combat. It covers our skills. Oh, let me talk about armor. Yes, hold on a second. Armor. We love armor. Especially in this game. We really, really love armor. Okay, so there is an armor rating up here. And there are armor items. And there are also some items. I wonder if I could find one real quick. Off the top of the card deck. No, I don't see one real quick. All right. Anyway, there are certain cards. Just like this in blue has a shield and a 1, which means it's granting you 1 armor protection. So whenever you're going to take damage, you take 1 less damage. Now, there are some weapon cards and ability cards that'll have the shield, I believe it's in red, with a number on it. That means that it damages armor. So if it says if it's the same symbol but in red with the 1, or is it a -1, it'll mean that it damages your armor by 1 actually. You can fix armor. You can get duct tape in this game and patch up your armor, which is really kind of cool. That's how the armor system works. So in this case, any damage that is rolled against Amelia Earhart while she's wearing this armor, then Amelia is going to take 1 less damage unless the damage bypasses armor, such as most psi abilities do, or whether it damages armor, which some of the cards do. Of course, right now, I would want to see when I can't. Maybe just because there's not enough of that in level 1 stuff. But there is like 2 protection armor right there. That's what that looks like. So that would mean 2. This is also unique armor, specific for the Smith family, as you can tell by their symbol right up there. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to show you. All right. That is, I can't think of anything else. I mean, you know what I just told you, and you will be able to play this game straight through the first time you come out of cryogen to the last clone you have. Hopefully you'll win the game before that. This is not really an easy game. If you're gonna be a hack and slash player, that's one thing we found out. But this isn't a review, so I'm not gonna get into depth about that. Oh, I keep thinking one more thing. Allies. You can get allies in the game, and they're gonna have their own miniatures and their own toker trackers. Trackens. What the heck's a tracken? And all their own abilities with their health, their speed, their accuracy, their types of attacks on it. And they will help you on the specific level that you find them. Now, there are certain items that you can find and you can get along the way. Oh, there's a duct tape I was telling you about. Use to repair armor. There are certain items in this game that become specific, that can help you in situations with specific characters. And with the allies, what these cards do is that they will allow them to sort of tag along with you just for a little while longer, because you have something that they like. Oh, see, this doesn't work for Bigfoot, right? But look at this. This will work for Goat Boy. So if you find Goat Boy, and you happen to have a cassette tape, you also happen to have, I already saw that, there we go, and you have the Sacred Boombox to play it on, then this specific ally will follow you up 1 extra level. So if you found him on level 5, and you have the cassette tech, and the cassette tape, Goat Boy will follow you up. Then when you leave level 5, 1 level, as you see here. If I can get it back in focus for everyone, there we go. There we go. For 1 more game level. Allies. So the allies are pretty cool. They definitely are very, very helpful in this game. If you get a chance to get an ally, I really hope you get the card that you need to bring him to the next level. Because every level is tougher. It starts off with lizard people encounters. It's going to get up to the Greys. It's going to get up to the human guards of Dulce. Oh, it's going to get into these mutant aberrations. And then it's finally going to get up to the robots. And then the very last thing, as I mentioned, dun dun dun, Man in Black. Yo, this guy is no joke. You want to have the best gear you can. All right, so that was the how to play of Escape from Dulce by Sentient Cow Games. I hope you enjoyed. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook, on Instagram. Continue watching our videos. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for liking, for sharing our videos, for commenting. Thank you so much. And don't forget, I'm your buddy Big Johnny J. This has been 2 Go Pixie presents Legendary Gaming for how to play Escape from Dulce.